Black and White TV. Today is the match reaction after our tremendous 4-0 win over Aston Villa yesterday. If you like what you see, please hit those like buttons, helps push me up the search ratings. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed, then please subscribe. It's all free to do so, and hit the bell notification if you want to be notified of when I come up live or put a pre-recorded video out. As I did last night on the train, and a couple of times it went a bit jittery because of the signal, but because you can't use Wi-Fi on the train and do it on that way, you've got to do it via your phone data. So there must be something on the Wi-Fi that doesn't allow you to do it. But another great win yesterday for us. 4-0 against Aston Villa. I thought it started off a bit stop-start that first half, and then once we got into the 10 minutes of injury time, after Martinez went off eventually with concussion, I think he should have went off the first time he was knocked anyway. I think, I don't know why he was kept on for so long. But once Robin Olsen came on, we got that penalty when Ashley Young stuck his arm out, and it was a penalty. It's a penalty all day, and it was great to see a referee actually give it to us for once. So we got the penalty. Wilson put 1-0 up. Second half, Wilson, J7, and then, Miggy again, another Miggy cracking goal, even though it took a little deflection, but was still a cracking goal regardless, and a 4-0 win at the end of it. So good afternoon to Pete, Sam and Lewis. How are you all? Okay?
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's a brilliant afternoon, isn't it? Like for
the sunshine as well.
Not for me, it's actually chucking it down.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pete, I'll come to you first, mate. So give us your reaction on yesterday's game and how you found it.
Yeah, as I mentioned, the first half, it was quite sluggish when both teams pretty much giving the ball away a lot. But yeah, as soon as we got that penalty, there was only one team that was going to win it and absolutely take control, and that was definitely us. And we just annihilated Villa throughout the rest of the football match, which was absolutely great. It's a definite penalty. I mean, why put your arms up like that? It's just the good thing
just
is
asking for trouble.
Yeah, we didn't need VAR for that, which was good. I'm glad the referee automatically spotted that and just give the penalty. And Wilson just calm as you like, just straight down the middle. And the short corner we took, link-up play between Miggy and Trippier is just good again. And Trippier just has to whip that ball in. And there's our number 9 there again to get his second as well. And of course, Wilson and another opportunity which was saved. But of course, J7 there to get on the rebound. It was definitely onside for that as well because Tyrone Mings is playing him onside.
Yeah,
definitely.
Talking about onside, like Wilson's second goal, it was actually checked for offside.
It was at first, but I thought that it was good.
Obviously, because for Peter, because where you sit in the Gallagher, don't you?
Yeah.
Obviously, us in the Leeds end, obviously we get to see the TV said, VR checking possible offside, Dan Burn.
Well, yeah, it was, but they give us the goal, which was great, and Miggy. Oh, it's just an absolute corker, isn't it? Again, and just as soon as he got that shot away, I was just like, "This is in, and what a finish! 7-7, 7 goals this season for Miggy now,
and 6, and he scored 6 goals in 6 now. It's like, what the hell's going on with him?
Absolutely. Oh, he's just unstoppable at the moment, and yeah, that was another great 3 points for us, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. I mean, that my prediction for this game previously was 3-0 to us. So, one extra. But, we could have scored easily 6 or 7,
Yeah.
Wilson hit the bar with one, didn't he? And,
Murphy
was unlucky with the post, wasn't he? So,
yeah,
it was one of them. But at the end of the day, 4-0, still a great result and keeps us in the top 4. With Chelsea losing, Liverpool losing, what a great day. And of course, the Mackhams, they were losing at the time, but they got a last minute, they got to equalise at 10 minutes from the end. But, they couldn't beat Luton side away. But yeah, other than that, great day all round.
But just like you know, Arsenal are 2-0 up.
Are there 2 up?
Yeah.
I'll just quickly nip into some comments. As you can see, guys, the stream's there. So if you want to come on, have your say, then please do. Click the link. It's also pinned at the top. Mighty Max says, hi, Tony and all. Also, Liverpool beat icing on the cake this weekend. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't think Leeds would have beat them, if I'm honest. I'd have it down as a draw.
And did he say about the Liverpool game? It was 5 minutes added on. They were still playing the 97th minute.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're waiting for Liverpool to score, weren't they?
Yeah.
Niall says, big up, lads. Big up to you as well, mate. Great win for the Toon. Newcastle for the top 4. Smash the likes and subscribe and the share button. Thank you very much for that, Niall, indeed. Mighty Max says, also, Linton scoring in front of his national manager. Couldn't have came at a better time. Over the moon for him. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Chris says, the short corner routine for Wilson's second was the best I've seen this season. Yeah, it was a great one. But I also look at the one against Brentford as well. You know, that was another great short corner to Trippier when he put that cross in, you know, for Bruno to score. So, yeah, we're getting good at these short corners at the moment. And Mighty Mag says Forest are knackered. So, Sam, I'll come to you. Give me your thoughts on yesterday's game and how you found it.
Yeah, I was at work, obviously the first half, so I literally got in from work when we got the penalty. So I've watched it, like I watched Billy's commentary on it, and then I watched it last night. And yeah, I think Villa came to try and quiet the crowd down. They came and win niggly free kicks, try and stop momentum, to try and frustrate her. And it was a case of biding with time, and the gaps would come. And obviously with the Martinez injury, it was frustrating, but we just kept our heads. We didn't do anything stupid, and eventually we opened them up. And Ashley Young had his Maradona moment, and obviously we scored the penalty, and then we had one disallowed straight after that. But then as soon as the first goal went in, then I thought they might come out and have a bit of fight second half, but they just didn't. It just looked like the heads had gone, and the second goal went in, and the third one scored. The second and third went in within 5 minutes of each other. And obviously Miggy did what he's been doing. You kind of express it, considering times like in them situations before, he's ballooned them into Rose Ed, or he's hit the corner flag, and you just don't know where this is coming from. I don't know what he's having. He's cornflakes in the morning, or he's having Weetabix, or but it's just a completely different player. And
do you think it could be Jack Grealish has motivated him?
To be honest, he has, but it shouldn't need Jack Grealish to motivate him. He should know that we're club going places now. When you thinking of, he might not be part of the future, or we're going to sign a better player for that area. Should have been enough motivation for him. And then obviously Wilson hit the bar, Murphy hit the post. The keeper made some saves as well. So if anything, 4-0 flattered them. It should have been more, and I'm just glad it was against them, because I don't think any of us can stand Aston Villa at the minute. So I mean, them and the Scouse Magnums, we've beaten them the last 2 home games, and we've beaten them pretty good. I know we beat the Scouse Magnums 1-0, but it was a convincing 1-0. So I mean, obviously I don't have social media anymore, so I presume it was all quiet from the Villa side last night. So
some Villa fans have complained, as per usual.
About what? The fact that they had 3 shots in the whole game. What can they complain about?
Yeah, none on target as well.
And none on target.
The 3 shots that they had, none were off target and none were on target. So I don't know where the 3 shots came from. But
that's what I think.
Pope didn't have. Pope had
I think the only chance they had was that Buendia one where Byrne blocked it, where was it Bailey got behind Shaw. I think that was the only player I think they had in the game.
Pope was waving like that because if it's right, because obviously it looked like when Pope was waving for the medics for Villa to come on. Look, from my end, it might have been a broken leg because he was waving straight away for the medics to come on. Is that right? Then?
I think something like that. It could have been.
Yeah.
Well, I think apart from I don't see what they've got to complain about because we're done the second half. It was just a one-way traffic
in the second
half. I mean, let's be honest. Emery said he wanted a challenge. Well, my God, he's got a challenge with them lot because they look like
he's got a big challenge.
I tell you, they look like relegation fodder. Half of them. They don't look like they don't look like Premier League.
Not to mention Southgate was at the game yesterday.
Well, and the Brazilian manager was there as well.
And what I'm going to say is Trippier, Pope, they're going to be picked, but I think Wilson should definitely be picked for the World Cup.
Maybe Dan Burn as well.
You know as well, with Southgate, with him, it could be the fact he was an ex-Villa player. Villa were playing, and they've got Tyrone Mings playing for them as well, and he gets
better
picked,
not
he?
Sorry, but how is he a centre back, Tyrone Mings? Sorry, he's one of the worst I've seen in the Premier League this season as well.
That's the flip side. That's the flip side of Gareth Southgate, and he could have been watching him. That's the type of manager he is. Yeah, I know you're laughing, Peter, but that's because he is a clueless buffoon, and he picks his favourites, doesn't he? And Mings always seems to get in the England squad, no matter whether he has a good game or bad game, because he picks him and he's reliable and does a job when he plays for England. But yeah, his club form's abysmal, like Harry Maguire, etc. But again, our next two games, Southampton away, I saw their game last night, and their defence was awful in the first half, and second half they were better, but they're very gettable, especially with players like St. Maximin coming back now as well. And of course, 2 weeks' time we've got Chelsea at home, which could be a top four decider going into the World Cup, where whoever wins that game is in the top four going into the World Cup. So personally, I've got no fear of both teams. I think we can beat both of them. So because they got absolutely pezzled by Brighton yesterday, so I can't see why we can't go into the World Cup sitting on 30 points.
Well, John our good friend John Sinclair kept saying about De Zerbi, kept saying, you guys may think
that Man U one, the Man U fan.
Yeah, the Reds fan. But he kept saying, watch De Zerbi go because he's a great manager and he will get them. And I'll hold my hands up. Yeah, John, I've never seen the guy as a manager, but he got his tactics spot on yesterday to beat Chelsea 4-1, that's for sure. And
can I just see? Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I just see it? If John is watching, don't do videos in the club shop. Did you see his video in the club shop? He must have literally put his camera on top of one of the railings that are selling T-shirts, and he's just literally stood there putting his camera face, and he's like, "Hello, I'm in the club shop." John, don't do that, man. Go outside. I'm sure you would have seen Peter and everything yesterday, so why don't you just do one there and ask Peter to hold his camera for him or whatever, instead of I'll go in the club shop and just put it on top of the T-shirt rack,
Oh, he's a funny one, John. He's one of a kind as John. They broke the mould when he was born.
Although he must be at Old Trafford the day because Man U are playing at home, aren't they? So he'd be down there the day.
He's supposedly on his way back to Bristol, but yeah.
Via Manchester.
It's 4-0 Arsenal.
Is it
4?
Yeah.
I did hear yesterday, I saw somebody put on social media, one of my friends put on Facebook, apparently that after the game, Villa fans were fighting outside St James's Park, and they were actually fighting with the police as well.
Idiots.
Just scumbags. I mean, at the end of the day, get your own house in order first. Get your own team in order before, and there's no need for violence after a game. I mean, it's just ridiculous,
Everton did it the same as well, the last home game. It's ridiculous. Why? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not our fault. It's not our fault your team's shite. You know what I mean?
I think if it's going to happen more often, the Premier League have to talk to the police up here. Saying if it's going to happen again, we're not going to let away fans come up because it's going to have to do something. Because it happened. I know this is Newcastle. But I was talking to my friend who is a Sun supporter when they were playing at home. The away fans were throwing objects like 2 pence is a vape, and it hit an 8-year-old kid. And they're going to have to look into it, saying if it's going to happen, like any stupid idiots and that of away fans and obviously home fans, if there's some idiots and that, said, right, if you cause the problem, you can't go to the game and the away fans can't travel up. Because we're going to have to look into it, because it's like 2 games in a row now where away fans have caused trouble to us, and we fight back and we get framed by the media and that, saying, "Oh, Newcastle fans fight like outside the ground."
I mean, I'll just go through some comments here. Mighty Max says, watching Villa and not one player I would take off them. Absolutely not.
I agree.
Mings
Can I just say on that point as well?
Mings was minging, wasn't he?
Sorry, I just say on some of that as well. People obviously thought in January, but Coutinho obviously went to there because of Villa and all Gerrard and all this rubbish. But you can see why Barcelona let him go now, because I mean, my God, he literally
he did nout when he come on for that.
No, he didn't fancy it at all. It looks like he doesn't want to be there. He's got the wrong attitude, and I laugh when Villa fans, early on the year said, "Oh, he's turned Newcastle down." Well, if he has, so I'm glad he did. Because he was like the mugs new, unfortunately, for carrying the can for paying stupid amount for him.
Well, his World Cup place will be up for grabs, I think, because don't think he'll be going to the World Cup, will he, if he's not getting game time for Villa? And if his attitude's like that, it's just, I mean, I was glad we didn't take him on anyway, not, and it's Villa's problem now, so they have to deal with it. But I mean, I keep finding players to come up with names, and I came up with Ethan Pillock, we called him, didn't I? And then now I've got Mings as Minging, so and our good friend Ethan Pinnock yesterday, or Pinnock as I'll call him,
Ethan Pinnock,
he made an error yesterday for the goal for Wolves, so there you go. He's still
like the goalkeeper yesterday for Villa. What? He was just being a pain in the backside, literally. I say, but do you watch match today last night or this morning?
Yeah,
I mean,
did you hear his comment? What he said? There should be a temporary sub for a concussion for a goalkeeper, and that they're doing rugby that go for like a concussion protocol and that.
But then
I disagree with it, to be honest.
I do.
I think if he's concussed, he goes off and doesn't come back on, and that's it. End of the matter. You don't have to have.
It worked out a benefit for us because we got an extra sub. We used 6 subs yesterday as well.
I did yesterday.
I mean, that was great, Eddie, doing that, just bringing different players off and just giving them.
Because when you had the game in the bag anyway.
For example, if this is a concussion sub, can they not announce saying this player's going off for a concussion sub? That means we get an additional substitute, and then everybody in the stadium will understand. Because it happened last season. It happened last season. I got confused, and they used an extra sub, and then I had to look. Oh, yeah, it was because we got an injury and that.
Yeah, it's a weird rule. I mean, Gary says, "Good afternoon, lads. Good afternoon to you as well, Gary. Hope you're well." Chris says, Miggy must have had 3 shots a week. He must have had something, because maybe he's just absolutely grown into this role of being the inverted winger, and maybe it just took him a little bit of time, but now he's in that role. Maybe he's just grasped it now and said, "You know what? I'm going to make this my starting berth week in, week out, and nobody's taking it off me." And if he is, well done to Miggy, and he's improved a hell of a lot. But then again, could be down to Eddie's coaching as well.
Yeah, will be.
I'll tell you one thing as well. I didn't think I would say this, but ASM's going to find it very hard to get back in this team mind. I tell you, he's not going to walk back into it next weekend or the Chelsea game or the Palace Cup game.
They can't play on when we play Southampton.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jolin unfortunately did pick up his 5th yellow card. So.
But I could see. I think you'll put Shell. He'll put Jacob Murphy on the left wing, won't he? I don't think he'll start at maximum.
I think he's going to probably slowly work ASM back in, like he's doing with Shelby at the moment, because he doesn't want. He probably doesn't want another injury to either one of them two.
Yeah, and with Miggy, I think he's drinking that South American coffee or tea. What Messi and all the South American players drink.
Yeah.
What, cocaine?
I mean, if you remember, Demba Ba used to bang the goals and he say, "Oh, because
Honey?
we strawberry syrup."
Sorry, syrup.
Strawberry
Yes.
syrup, aye.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I love me syrup. I love it.
Yeah, me strawberry syrup. Matey Max says Nick Port had nothing to do. Shocking like that was a joke.
Did he?
Like
I've
you
seen
see,
it.
you know when Bruno came off, he was doing nothing. He just stood on the pitch and clapped him coming off.
Andrew says, "Good afternoon, lads. Good afternoon to you, Andrew. Hope you're all right, mate. Enjoying your Strictly again."
Oh God.
What was that?
Remember, he said the other week, he said, "I'm
Yeah.
watching Strictly Come Dancing," and me and Sam took the mick out of him, and so I'm hoping he's enjoying his Strictly. Andrew says he will take things 100%.
Oh, I hope he doesn't.
Yeah,
Awful. What?
Matey
Dan
Max
Burn
is
should
just-
way be ahead of him. That's another player who should go to the World Cup. Dan Burn.
Yeah.
yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Can I just say as well how well he's doing improving at left back? He's getting better each game playing in that position. He's improving
Yes.
massively. For somebody who isn't a left back, it's gonna be hard for Target as well to get back in the team. It really is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a nice problem to have, though, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Plus
good
you've
job it's
got-
not our problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
that's Eddie's problem.
Yeah. With Dan, at least he knows. Like with Dan, Murphy, Longstaff, Elliot, for example, as well. They all know what it means to represent the shirt and that because they're all Geordies. And that you can say when they're playing, though, some of them are working because they know what it means for the city and that, and the fans.
Yeah.
What it means to represent Newcastle.
I mean, Matey Mag saying there, about Joe Linton missing the Southampton game due to yellow cards. Mason saying it was 4-0.
Yeah.
And he's also saying, Mason says John should do a video in the Man U club shop.
I'll have his
Mason,
corn
if you're there,
sandwich
mate,
in
you
it.
want to come on, click the link, Mason, and get yourself on. Come on, mate, if you're watching the rest of the game. Matey Max says, watching the cells coming on and getting the armband was like, I don't deserve this. That should be Trips. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he probably feels a bit embarrassed now. Gary Douglas says, is Poppy the keeper with sweet nothing to do? And
Exactly, I never do.
And Andrew says, hey, you never forget now, you lot.
Oh, another
thing
I'm gonna pick out that was so great in the game. And Newcastle fans taunting the Villa fans with the "you laughed at us when we went
down."
And
Who
the
yes
fuck
is laughing now?
It's sub on the halt, isn't it now?
But yeah, I think Emery's got a big job for that when he comes in now.
Is that Unai or Dick? Both. Yeah, Unai the manager and Dick Emery the assistant.
Unana, what's his name?
So Lewis, I haven't come to you yet. What's your thoughts on yesterday's match?
We could it's obviously class in the leaders and only saw that first goal probably for me and all the rest. But Miggy's goal, obviously it was in the perfect angle for me. We go and we just went. We looked, everybody was around us going like, what the hell's just happened here? If he's going, it was strange if somebody had the hands like that. One, it's like literally when he took the shot, you heard it went quiet for like about 20 seconds. You could feel like the roof probably lifted off the stadium because it was that loud. But it was a great But I think the referee should have had a word because he was fought Arsenal around. Just like there's one touch, they were going down. We were just touching them. We go down. They were getting a free kick. We were getting wiped down completely, and we were not getting anything. But I think since that goalkeeper, when that goalkeeper got injured, I think he changed it a bit and been a bit more fair. But I was saying, obviously I said with my dad and my brother and that. We're guessing how long was added on. I said it's at least about 10 or 15 minutes added on in the first half. At least 10 or 15, but at least it was 10. You don't see that very often in football, 10 minutes added on.
No.
Yeah.
Comment here from Ryan. He says, what does sub on the time even mean? What it is, Ryan, back when 2009-10 we went down when Damien Duff scored that own goal, Villa unveiled this big flag banner saying "Sob on the Tyne," basically that we're going to cry in the River Tyne, you know, over what was going with getting relegated and everything. So that's what it is. So we've turned it around now. So we'll see "Sob on the Halt."
And it's
if
just
you want to come on, Ryan, click the link, mate, and come get yourself on.
And it's just a scene as well because there's a song called "The Fog on the Tyne" is up by Lindisfarne.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say because this thing, like.
But yeah, I mean, you know, but another great game, great result. I mean, we could have probably scored 5, 6, or 7 goals even in that game. I mean, you know,
it could be even 8. It could be even 8. Like if what our chances went in,
they were so poor. You know, Villa were as Sam said, they look relegation fodder. You know, they don't look at a Premier League team at all. See what Emery does when he goes in there, but you know, not our problem. But you know, I'm going to come on the players now because I mean, it's a nice problem to have when you've got all these players in reserve. Matt Target can't get a game; he's stuck on the bench because Dan Burns playing so well. You've got ESM back from fitness. You've had Joe Linton playing well. Now he's out next week, so that may open the door for him or Murphy. You know, and I mean, you know, we've got Shelby back, obviously. The only one I think the 2 long terms that we've got out is Isak till after the World Cup and obviously Kraft for the rest of the season. I mean,
Darlow as well.
I mean,
Darlow.
Darlow's out, isn't he? Yeah, we forget about Darlow, don't we?
Because obviously, at least we
don't need to rely on him.
Yeah, we don't.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, when we play Crystal Palace in the cup, I wouldn't be surprised if we played the substitute goalkeeper. Why not give him a shot? Why not?
I would think he probably will. I think he probably will play Karius in goal against Palace in the cup. But yeah, Pete. I mean, what do you think about I mean, the Eddie Howe's got now. I mean, would you want the job? Because I certainly wouldn't.
Oh, I mean, the good thing is there's competition in this side now, where there's last few seasons players were like getting away with it, and now you want to give Eddie that selection headache, don't you?
Yeah,
because you kind of drop a team you kind of drop a side that's doing so well. Fair enough, we've got Joe Linton out for the next game because of 5 yellow cards, but he'll know who he can put in there. Whether it could be ASM, it could be Murphy, because I think the 3 midfield are going to stay the same probably for a bit as well. I thought Longstaff again wasn't too bad for me again yesterday, I've got to admit. So yeah, you want to give Eddie that, because you know what it was like under Bruce. It was like keep the same team and hoping it's going to work next game. Well, it didn't.
Yeah,
and there was
I thought Longstaff had a great game yesterday. I thought he had a good game. You know, one of his best for a while. Maybe Eddie's getting him back to the way he was under Rafa. You know, because under Rafa he was touted in England international, wasn't he? You know, so you know, he's getting back to where he was. But let's hope it continues and he continues to impress. But yeah, it's a great headache to have all these players, you know, and yeah. What's your take on it, Sam, as well? You know, the squad, and would you like to be in Eddie Howe's shoes? Because I certainly wouldn't.
Well, I won't mind his wage. Don't get us wrong. I think everyone would do. Yeah. But you know, it's a good thing to have, because when was the last time we had a competitive squad? I think it's good because it means in the cup game
when we qualified for the Europa League.
Even then, though, we didn't really have a big squad because Ashley was reluctant to spend. So even like it makes it a lot easier for the cup game against Palace next week to rest a lot of players, like the likes of a Botman or a Callum Wilson or a Bruno. Just leave them out and say, well, you've got Southampton and Chelsea, then that's it. You know, it's also quite significant because after that we've got 2 games, then the transfer window opens. So it's not as if we're coming back and we've got a month to wait till the window opens. We've literally got Leicester away on Boxing Day, and I think is a game on the 28th or 29th or something at home, I think.
I think so.
Wait till Leicester on Boxing Day.
Yeah, and that's
just Leicester. Then it's also, is it also on the 3rd after that, is it?
No, we've got Leeds on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah.
Yeah, we've got the Leeds game, then the transfer window opens. So we've only got really 4 games. We've got 4 games till the transfer window opens again. And like I've said before, I think we'll have players in earlier this season because of where we are on the table. I think agents and that will be looking, thinking, oh, well, Newcastle, they're going to be in the top 6 going into the World Cup at least. So why, they've got every chance of possibly getting a European position next season. So why not go there if like of a Maddison, or even we go for Tielemans as well in his last few months of his contract? Players like that are going to want to come now. Like unlike last January where they were umming and ahhing because we were in a relegation battle. Now their mind's made up that we aren't going to be in a relegation battle this year, and there's every chance we'll get possibly European football next season, which is frightening to say. The one thing I will say on that is I don't think we're ready for European football next season, unfortunately. I think our squad needs a lot more overhauling because you've still got players like Dummett, Lascelles, Ritchie, etc., Mankio, Kraft. No disrespect to them, but they're not the European quality that you need. So it takes a while for them players to leave because we're in a transitional period, of course, of upgrading them. So Chris Wood is another one. But I think again, I just don't hope that we'll get everything too soon and it backfires, because that's something we don't need. We need to do it in stages. We need to do it slowly, and I think Eddie Howe will target the cup games though as well. So you're no surprise if he might play like Bruno and Botman, even though I've said it might be good to rest them. He might play them because he might want to get to a final of one of these cups and have a go at it, because I think the Chelsea play Man U in the next round or Liverpool or something. So there's one of them are going to be gone. So there's one of them that you won't be playing. So it's things like that. But again, it's refreshing that now we can talk so positively, and that now we know that no matter what team we put out on that pitch, no matter what we do and everything, we know that we know that we're going to. They know that they're not going to give up. They know that they're going to be. Every team's going to have a game. Simple as that.
Sam.
Oh yeah, Mercedes, yeah.
Yes, come on tonight.
I
think it's the best chance to win the race, like tonight. But we'll talk. This isn't F1, so
I know. Sorry.
Like you say, we're not ready for European football. We need a lot more strength and depth. But but then that's why we need these sponsorship deals next season and everything to generate. The only way the club can generate the money is by the sponsorship deals itself. Mighty Mag says, good luck this afternoon for West Ham against Man United. Ryan, who's in the stream, he says that was like playing on amateur difficulty on FIFA yesterday in mind. Mighty Mag says, can see a massive rotation for the cup game v Palace. Yeah, there'll be rotation there. Palace will rotate as well. Gary says they also had it been on us saying Anton Deck, your new messiah, lads. But yes, that must have been down when we went down at Villa. LA Coffee, good evening. Tony PD, Lewis, Sam and all, good evening to you, mate. Or evening, as you like to put it.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, it's a good late morning for Ryan.
Davey says, good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, Davey. Hope you're well, mate. LA Coffee. Na. Big Almiron. Yep, the song as we all know it. And he says hi to Ryan as well. Davey says we have 2 transfer windows before next season. Yeah, we got the winter and then the summer one. Mighty Max says if we get Champions League, the Deadwood will be pushed out, even released, in my opinion.
Yeah, just get them out.
Dummett's out of contract next summer anyway, so is Kieran Clark, and he's not coming back. Chris says
5-0 Arsenal.
5-0. Newcastle have 2 transfer windows to strengthen the squad if we qualify for Europe. LA Coffee.
Yeah, but people have also
against Real Madrid.
I just say people also have to be wary of FFP as well as people keep hopping on. We can't just go and spend. Simple as. So we have to be. That's why we have to do it in stages.
But let's say if we get a massive sponsor deal for next season, that could help us. That will help us. Plus, if we qualify for Europe, that will get bigger players in for us anyway.
It will, but you still can't just go and go. You can't just go and spend 300 or 400 million like that. You need to. We're doing it right. We're doing it in stages. We're 3 or 4 players at a time, and 3 or 4 going out rather than 6 or 7 in, 6 or 7 out. You just have to manage expectations as well. So we've got to just enjoy what's happening, and that we know that better times are coming. Even more better times are coming. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Ali Coffee says, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget them at all. So yeah, and another one, Kayla saying hi to you as well, Kayla. So yeah, hi Ryan, how you doing, mate?
I'm buzzing.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on yesterday's game then, mate.
I mean, it was pretty easy, just like I said. It was like playing on low difficulty on FIFA, like just easy to take the ball off them, easy to attack. And I was disappointed in Villa because I thought they'd come with more a bit, but I feel like just from their own doings with the Martinez stuff, like it was killing the flow. It felt like it was killing the flow and rhythm to the whole game, and then like we just grabbed them by the chokehold and just said, "Yeah, like this is ours to take," and took our chances. I think the penalty helped as well because it got the floodgates going. Easy goal from that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched Callum Wilson's second goal a million times because it's so nice. It's so good on the eyes to see a set piece goal like that, and just the cross in, the header as well. Miggy's goal as well was insane. Like we're going up top, and I mean, pray for the rivals too.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, Ryan, it just seemed to be a walk in the park after that second half. I mean, first half it was all stop Villa, it was terrible, and then once the keeper got taken off, and and then once we got that penalty and Callum Wilson put it away as ever, always coolly. Second half we came out and that was it, and we just took the game to them, and once we got 3-0 up, I think the game was done and dusted. Then I think Villa just gave up, didn't they?
Yeah, it was really that. Thought it would have been cool just to see ASM come on a bit earlier and just like destroy their defense and their rock bottom confidence, just to see him just do something cool, I guess. But it wasn't to be, and that doesn't really matter because overall, like, we performed pretty well against a pretty poor side yet again. It's almost at the point where I want a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's great, we're top 4 at the minute. Can we stay there for the rest of the season?" Well, I've always said I'd like to see where we are come April, like towards the end of April. That'll give you more of an idea where we are. It's nice being in the top 4 at the moment. Whether we can sustain that for the rest of the season, who knows? But
you have to buy pretty heavily in January if you want any kind of top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of those players you have to bring in January has got to be James Maddison because
the thing is we've done okay so far. No, without like ASM and Isak. No, not okay. We've done really well without ASM and Isak, barring like the 2 home draws. Like considering where we want to be, like it's really good. But I mean, obviously, like we're probably like I think we're like 5 points off of Arsenal now, like 7-8.
Well, it'd be 7 points.
Like if we continue to beat the top sides, like I mean, dare I say it, we could be in like a title race depending because we have a huge advantage. We look like we want to win every game. We look like we're not going to lose a game. We got no European football like all these big clubs have, and I've only started. It's only been kind of recent where I'm looking at games like Tottenham yesterday, see if they lose against Bournemouth. Unfortunately, they didn't. We could have been 4th because of that. So I am looking at the other teams around us because, I mean, it could be a premature now, but eventually we'll be looking to those sides eventually and see if they won or lost, because they're our rivals now. Like, there's no doubt about it. And yeah.
I mean, the thing is, Bournemouth sort of fell asleep on that corner yesterday. Didn't grab the second ball, and obviously Bentancur put that in the back of the net and make a 3-2 to Tottenham. But had Bournemouth kept that to a draw, we would have been sitting third in the table. As of this morning. But I was surprised Tottenham went down there and won. To be fair, I thought, especially when Bournemouth went 2-0 up, I thought, hang on a minute, this is But yeah, so hopefully, but there's bigger tests ahead for Spurs as well. So we might even overhaul them into third. But I look at this now and I think over the next 2 weeks, and that'll be up till the World Cup break now, I can see we can get 30 points now and be sitting in the top 4 come the World Cup. And that would be absolutely fantastic, because I bet the big 6 are really hating this. Although Guardiola has been quite complimentary to Newcastle. He says we're not only in the top 4, but he says we're up there fighting with the big boys for the title as well. So
that's
for
what
him
I
to
mean.
actually come up and say it's nice, you know what I mean?
I mean, obviously a title race is going to be way more tighter than a top 4 race, and then et cetera, et cetera. But like, we do have an advantage there. Like, it's just going into every game wanting to win it. And eventually, like, if we come up against the big 6 teams, like, and we beat them, like, there's going to be more and more of a conversation of us, depending on where we are, if like we can actually be in a title challenge, because we're not far away from it. And like, yes, it's probably too much to expect, but I mean, if come that the end of the Chelsea game, the owners, we all know how ambitious they are. They want to win every single thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they give Eddie Howe this, that, and the other to improve us in January, to guarantee absolute maximize efficiency and results.
Yeah, I mean, it's, when you're thinking how much short time. I mean, Eddie Howe hasn't even done a full 12 months yet at St James's Park. But when you think how far we've come in such a very short time under Eddie Howe in 11 months, I mean, we stayed up in 11th place and we've done it quite comfortably in the end. And then this season, I mean, we wouldn't have thought, if somebody had said to me now, by the 31st of October, we'll be 4th top with a goal difference of plus 14 on 24 points, I would have said, "Oh, keep taking your drugs," because I wouldn't have believed it. I would have said, "Oh yeah, we'll probably," if we were 10th now and on say 17 points, I would have been like thinking, "Oh well, okay, that's a result. That's a improvement from last season." But where we are now, it's absolutely massive, and it's the way Eddie's got the team playing. And the thing is, teams can't play against us very well, and we're now making St James's Park back into a fortress again, which is great to see. I mean, Man City came to St James's Park; they couldn't beat us there, and even Guardiola said that after the game, the 3-3 draw. He turned around and he said, "Last season we came here and won 4-0. He says, "This is a different Newcastle team to last season." He says, "They play a totally different way." He says, "And they put us under a huge amount of pressure." So that's testament. And I like Pep Guardiola as a manager because he's actually quite complimentary about other teams, and it's the way he comes across. But the likes of Klopp, all he's interested in is if he gets beat off somebody, "Oh well, that was a bad decision," or the draw against Fulham, or the pitch wasn't very good. Actually have some respect for your opposition.
If you look as well, Tony, right, out of the big 6, we've still got to play Arsenal at home, Chelsea at home, Liverpool at home, Man United at home, Spurs at home. We've only got to play Man City away. All the others have got to come to St James's. Yes, if you win them 5 games, then people will take you as a title contender. I'm not saying we will, but that's the only way you become a title contender, is if you beat all 5 of them at home. But again, this is still a long way to go in this season. We've only played 13 games, but also the fact we've kept 6 clean sheets in them 13 games equals our clean sheets record from last season, which is another massive thing, that we've only played 13 games and we're going to smash our clean sheet record from last season. So again, that's starting from the back. And people obviously moaned on at the summer saying, "Oh, we didn't spend too much. We're concentrated on an already solid defence." Well, it shows that we did the right thing in the summer and concentrated on the defence, because it shows that we're the best defence in the league. So, you know what I mean? Shows it was the right decision.
Absolutely, Sam. I mean,
I'll hold my hands up. I was complaining about the attack, but like we're top scorer, like we're one of the highest scoring teams in the league.
It's great to be. I mean, around the panel here, I mean, like Pete, Sam, yourself, Ryan, and Lewis. I mean, can anybody remember the last time, seeing it even at this stage of the season, we had a plus 14 difference? Because all the seasons I can remember, we've always been in the minus.
Probably minus 14 or.
I would say it was probably the 2011-12 season where I had a plus goal difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was. When we finished 5th, But yeah, it's been an absolute amazing turnaround, to see where we are now. And to be honest with you, I don't fear Chelsea come to St James's Park, because the way Brighton took them apart yesterday, if they were concerned about Brighton's pressing, wait till they've come against our pressing and intensity, then they'll be in a game. And I wouldn't be surprised if we smash them.
I feel like Chelsea are still trying to find themselves this season, because I'm trying to gather opinions on it, and people are saying that, like, from Graham Potter so far, like, there's not much intensity. This past game, he made a huge mistake by playing wingers at wingbacks. Some are saying that they should just ditch the whole wingbacks and do 4-3-3 like Graham Potter switched against Man United, and it seemed to work for them. So, but at the same time too, like, him as a manager gave us a really hard game again at Brighton away earlier this year. So could it be possibly the same? Who knows? I mean, obviously Reece James being out is huge. They just have, like, their attack, like, they've always had good names on paper, but like they don't really fit right. And like, I mean, how is it a coincidence that people like Lukaku, Kai Havertz, like Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, they all like fail and like they flop because like I feel like there's something like from a manager's perspective that's not like taking the best out of them. And then like they're all focused on defense, but then like they go and concede 4 goals and stuff like this. So like, I mean, I got nothing to fear at all because we're on top form, and like teams will it'll take a few years for teams to figure us out. So like I'm chilling.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the scene yesterday was Graham Potter's first defeat as Chelsea manager, but a heavy one at that as well. And but I think Brighton's a hard place to go. We've been there this season. We got a 0-0 draw of it, luckily enough. And but yeah, I mean, I don't fear anybody who comes to St James's Park. And I think when Liverpool come up, they'll find it a tough place to come to get a result, and they'll have to play well or better than us to get a win here, because we'll make sure this time we get revenge on Liverpool, because we didn't deserve to lose that game down there, and if that had ended a draw, we would have been unbeaten still. So it's the only defeat we've had.
I hope if when we play Liverpool, they say it was 5 minutes on, we score in the 98th minute as well.
Oh, that would be
yeah, just to see Klopp's face. Yeah, exactly.
He'd be telling the linesmen saying there should be full time to and he gets sent off again.
I mean, LA Coffee says Liverpool fans are complaining about the lack of investment of their poor results. I think that team's aging as well.
Well, yeah, I mean they've had that same defense for a canny few years now. They must have kept that same defense for a canny few years. Same with our midfield now. It's like when we persisted with our same centre backs before we got Dan Burn and Sven Botman in for a few years as well, and we noticed that needed sorting out. And look how we are defensively now, a lot more better.
We're a solid unit, and it's not just the back 4; it's the actual back 5, because you got Nick Pope involved in that as well.
Yeah.
Andrew says only a treble this season, lads. Yeah, that would be nice, Andrew.
Nice.
LA Coffee says Wood should have buried that goal. He must be feeling the same too. Yeah, he should have.
I don't think for this, guys.
Poor referees unfairly cost us points.
If we qualify for Conference League next year, wouldn't you guys think that players like Chris Wood, Ryan Fraser, Jacob Murphy would do well against these unknown European teams, and they'd be good for squad fodder?
I don't think they'll be here. I think they'll be moved on and will be upgraded. I'd
be happy to sell Fraser.
Chris Wood, there's no confidence. He came on in the second half, and there was a chance for him to score when ripped a cracking ball in, and he completely scuffs his shot, and it can't all away the corner flag.
All he had to do was touch it because the pace was on the ball, and he would have scored.
Chris Wood did a job for us somewhat against Tranmere. Yeah. What if he does it against some Moldovan side in the Conference League?
Oh, I don't think he'll be able to do it. I think he'll be sold by then and we'll have a better player in that position.
How are we going to sell him, though? I could see him running down at his contract because who's going to buy him on his wage at his age?
So someone like that, someone will take, even on loan, someone will take him on loan or something. Or...
I guess so.
Davey says, over the last 5 games, same points as Arsenal, 2 best clubs over the last 5. Yeah, fair enough, that one, yeah. Mighty Mag says, if Brucey came back now, we'd be in a relegation battle.
Yes, never mention his name. Just never mention his name.
No, don't mention his name.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Compensation Lover.
Yeah,
exactly. I like coffee. According to French sources, Ekateki's unhappy with the lack of game time he's getting.
I've seen that as well.
Well, he didn't want to come back.
What a shame.
How's he ever going to get?
I wouldn't even bloody sign him anymore because we offered him to come to Newcastle, he offered to go to Paris Saint-Germain, and he's not happy being there. Yeah. You lost your chance, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, what were you saying there, Ryan? Sorry.
I said, who's ever going to get in front of Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe? And they have 60 goal contributions, all 3 of them together this season. It'd be stupid to play Ekiteki, whatever his name is.
Exactly. And I mean, the thing is, I don't blame the player as such. I think it all goes down to his agent, who was trying to get a lot of money out of clubs. And, but, maybe the player's too young and inexperienced to get rid of his agent unless there's a contract there as well.
See, Tony, that's what it is. I'm similar age to that group, and I know just from my own experience and seeing people that you go by too much of what it's told in your ear rather than coming to your own decision.
Yeah, and he was probably pointed in that direction to go there.
Yeah.
Gary says, we have to play Man City away from home. Yeah, we mentioned that before, Gary. Ekitiki can go and sling his hook. Yeah, well, yeah, again, it's probably down to the agent, Mighty Mag, probably not down to the player. I think the player wanted to come. I think it was his agent who was messing about. And, I feel for the lad, and I hope it doesn't knock his career off track. I hope he gets it back on. Gary says, as a deluded Liverpool fan on TikTok, claiming they will finish second in the league.
Not the way they're playing this season.
No.
Might be second in the league. That might be second bottom, mightn't it? Mighty Mag says, Wood's shaking my head at his miss yesterday. How did he miss that? They're your bread and butter. I like coffee. Wilson could have completed his hat-trick with a chance Chris Wood had. Yeah. Wilson would have buried that.
Mm-hmm.
Did one player Swiss say he's not going to work, not doing the work to get a game? I haven't got a clue on that one. I don't know.
If they say how if you get relegated, you obviously get relegated. Just watch it. They say one of the big 6. They say for Liverpool, for example, if they finish in the bottom 3, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool Premier League say, no, you're not getting relegated because we need more money into the league. They're let them stay in the league.
I think they'd get relegated. You know what happened is their owners would sell right away.
Yeah. But I'm saying
those American owners that don't care about winning. They just care about being and making the most money.
They'd probably have to sell because they probably couldn't afford to keep all the players they've got, and they probably couldn't afford all this to sustain them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm glad we don't have American owners.
Yes, thank God for
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I'm glad because we don't have people like Janet Jackson singing at half time like they do in the Super Bowl or Britney Spears singing anywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, like I was watching the NFL just before I come on from Wembley. They had a British singer singing "God Save the King." She sounded more American and she's British. She's saying "God Save," like really slowly. You go like, come on!
Why is she singing the English national anthem for an American sport? Surely you sing the American one.
They did the American one first and then the British one because it's at Wembley.
Yeah, but it's not an English sport. It's an American sport. It's not our.
I have no idea why, but it's like because they obviously have they have like 18 games in London and that in Europe and that per season.
Yeah, LA Coffee says Hoslu could have buried that one too. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well,
Lineman probably could have scored that.
I'd have Hoslu over Chris Wood any day.
Yeah.
Didn't Hoslu get like 20-odd goals last season or something?
And Spain, yeah,
Sure,
he did well, didn't he?
He played for Alaves or something.
Yeah. LA Coffee says Longstaff played quite well against Villa. Yes, he did. We mentioned that one earlier. Gary says Liverpool's second bottom. That would be great, lads. Wouldn't it just? Yeah. I mean, Eddie kept the same team yesterday, and we're getting used to this now. And, I was saying last week, Pete, I mean, do you agree with it? Do you think Eddie's now got a bit of swagger about him? I'm not saying arrogance, but a bit of swagger. Has he got that little bit of Jose Mourinho inside him when he does interviews?
Yeah, I would say he definitely does. Particularly when he gets stuff mentioned, like when people you come out with questions that he's not going to answer, is he? Why do I need answer stuff like that?
Absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
I wouldn't be surprised seeing before the Chelsea game and see just watch and to be saying, why are you taking your players to Saudi Arabia for a game? Like
you just knew press conference right in London. Just your team's lost. You knew Saudi questions. I knew Saudi questions were coming hard.
Yeah,
at that Chelsea away game.
LA Coffee says Liverpool and Everton relegation battle.
That one. Both of them get relegated.
Davey says Eric Robson Dutrona, if I got that right, former PSG.
Just call him Eric.
Midfielder.
Just call him Eric.
Yeah, Eric. Says Ekitike has mental weakness, isn't focused on football, and is half bothering with training due to his lack of game time. He's obviously got an issue there. He's not happy. Well, he's gone from Reims to PSG from
just a loan,
being in the first team.
No, actually bought him.
No, he's on loan.
That was permanent, Was he? I thought it was permanent.
What's a loan deal?
And then, was it a loan deal and then the view to make him permanent either in January or the summer, was it?
In the summer, yeah.
Yeah. That's not going to happen, is it? You're going back to Reims then, won't you?
Well, if they're not paying him, they may as well send him back to Reims, mightn't they?
Yeah, and we just buy him.
No.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I think
we don't need a striker.
I mean, if he's not getting the game time, I think it's going to take him a while to get his football back on track, and he's going to have to really work at it, isn't he? So I think he's, stumped his career up, and and Davey goes on to say, yeah, he's going back. So yeah, he's obviously going to go back to Reims probably in January then. I'll get Gordon on. I'll get his thoughts for the match. Here he is. Good afternoon, Gordon. How are you?
All right, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. What was your thoughts on yesterday's game, Gordon?
Absolutely brilliant from start to finish. I think we dominated the whole game.
Yeah. And who impressed you the most yesterday?
Well, that's a good question, Tony. It's hard to puzzle that one because I can say the full 11 because all of them play good. But if I make up one man, I would say Guimaraes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is a tough question,
Yeah.
Wilson as well. I mean, you think he should go to England with the World Cup? I mean, personally, I don't want him to because I don't want him to get injured.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he could be a match winner for England.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm thinking what you were saying as well. I don't want to go to World Cup, but I do. But I don't want to I don't want to get injured.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But
And what do you think about the goalkeeping situation of Villa? Do you think Martinez should have come off after he was knocked, or do you think they were right to keep him on for a bit longer and then bring him off? I mean, head injuries can be dangerous. I mean, I think they were playing Russian roulette, to be honest, with his health.
Yeah, listen, when it happened, it should took him off straight away because you could see in his eyes he was dazed and he wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
And when he went down, you could, if you look at his eyes, you could tell him he didn't know where he was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the concussion test protocol is on a football field. I mean,
I know, like I saw it. I know in the button. Yeah, like I was when I was watching, because I was having in my goal where I sit. Like, basically have a torch and that, check the pupils, and then they do that with the finger, see if you can still see and that.
Mm-hmm. But I know.
Yeah,
I know
that's just a quick concussion.
Yeah. If you go to like the cricket, in the cricket, if there's a player gets hit on the head or whatever, they'll ask a series of questions. Like they'll ask him, "What's the date today and what day is it?" And he has to answer that. What's the current score on the scoreboard?
Yeah.
So he's got to remember what the score is,
and
then he's got to read the backwards as well. So, and if he passes all that, he's fit. So surely football must have something similar to that.
So you got to think about the player's health. You shouldn't have, when you got that knock, Villa should have a common sense to take him off straight away. Think about his health.
Yeah. I think like if it's because it's happened like now like a couple of times to goalkeepers now. Probably the worst one was probably Petr. Why not?
Yeah.
I think it should be a rule now. Goalkeepers have to wear scrum cap. Just then there'll be more just for the head and that. Because obviously they're going to get jumping for the ball or diving for the ball. They're either going to get knocked in the head on. Then if they have a bit of a scrum cap on, at least they'll be a bit more protected.
Yeah, but it's part and parcel of the game, though, isn't it? As a goalkeeper, you're in the line of fire, basically. I've played as a goalkeeper, so I know what it's like. You're in the line of fire at the end of the day. You come out to get them balls, and you're just being brave. So, I mean, Davy Durkin says we dodged a bullet with Ekiteke. We could have if if his attitude's not right. But then who knows how he would have done here. Mighty Mag says Southampton game prediction for the Southampton game, not going to be a walk in the park. It may be difficult, but I'm sure we'll come out with that for 3 points. I like Coffee. If he's not focused on football and half bothered about training, he shouldn't complain about lack of game time. Yeah, and Davey says I agree with that. Chris Banks says I wouldn't pay for whatever it is on the back of my shirt if they charge per letter. No, apparently it's it's one heck of a name, that, isn't it? I wouldn't want that on the back of my shirt. That's for sure.
Right. There'd be £100 for that name just there.
Yeah, probably. But so we're going to go into the player ratings now. So I'll start with Pete. So I'll give you Nick Pope.
Didn't have our do, did he? Really, it was just pretty much a comfortable afternoon. He knew when to come and catch everything. And he knew he was there to get to the ball at the right time as well. So I'll just go with 7.
Yeah.
7. Sam, I give you Mr. Kieran Trippier.
9. Just all I'm going to say is outstanding. I don't need to say anything more. I think that just sums him up.
Yeah. Right, Lewis, I'm going to go the opposite side and I'm going to give you Mr. Dan Byrne.
An 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan, I'm going to give you Mr. Sven Botman.
9.
9.
I think not more for his defensive because he didn't really have much to do. But it's more because of his playing out from the back. Like, I think instead of doing the easy option and passing it back to Bowman or sideways, like he'd always switch the play to Almiron or Trippier, and I think it's a real tool to have, and he's just going to get better. So 9 for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's 22-year-old. He's absolutely brilliant, and he can only get better, and he's not even at his peak yet. Gordon, I'm going to give you Fabian Schär.
I'm going to go 8 for sure.
For sure.
If for him and Botman are the perfect partnership at the back.
Yeah. I'll take. Yeah.
But them in the middle, no striker's going to get past them.
No. Yeah, I'll take Sean Longstaff. I thought you had a terrific game yesterday, Sean Longstaff. Didn't do a lot wrong in my eyes.
He scored a screamer as well.
Yeah. I thought you had a good game. I'm going to give Longstaff a 9. I thought you had a good game. I like Coffee says Botman 10. He's Maxine, Mickey 10 out of 10. And I like Coffee says short 8. Okay, Pete, so the next player for you is Mr. Bruno Guimaraes.
He did very well. I would say not as great as possibly the other maybe a couple, but still good does what he has to do with in the game, obviously. And he's just been a breath of fresh air in that midfield for us, so I'll go with an 8 for Bruno.
Yeah.
Sam, I give you Mr. Joe Willock.
I'll go for an 8 for Willock. I think he just runs. He's like a Duracell battery. He just doesn't stop. He just runs in. He did give the ball away straight, but he went straight back for us. So, he's doing the dirty work. He's doing the work that you don't see really. That when you see the highlights, you don't really see it. You see him what he does, So I'll give him an 8 just because he's like a Duracell bunny in midfield and he just doesn't stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Lewis, I give you J7, Joe Linton.
Joe Linton.
Yeah. A 9.5.
9.5. We can accept that, yeah.
Sorry, happy over there.
Yeah, he got his goal as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he did quite well.
And I was really impressed with his hold-up play as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really, really good for me.
Ryan, I'm going to give you his opposite side, and that's Miggy Almiron.
Take it away, Ryan. 9. His runs he's making, chance he had in the first half, the positioning, his goal, his contribution for the second goal as well with Trippier, top goal scorer of our team. Who would have thought? I mean, the guy's on fire, and
I got him for double figures, man. I think he's got at least 13, 14.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know what it is too? Like, he's so pivotal to how we want to play because he's the ultimate presser, and he just fits a system like that like all day long.
This is Almiron I've been waiting to see for years. This is Almiron I'm waiting to see.
Yeah, well, I think we could have signed a lot more under Benitez, but because he was doing well with Perez and Rondon, but Steve Bruce absolutely ruined him and made him like some box-to-box midfielder when he's not even that.
Yeah, like this is the Miggy from Atlanta United in the MLS.
Yeah, he's just a confidence player. Just grab the ball and just like create something out of nowhere right away.
And that goal yesterday, I just can't get out overhead.
I think his energy and his work rate is his best attribute for me. And with that, it's just the goal scoring instinct has just been an add-on to it. So 9 for me.
Yeah. That's great.
Okay, so Gordon, I give you Callum Wilson.
Callum Wilson, 9 out of 10 for Mr. Wilson. His work rate. Well, he's 2 goals and his work rate. I think he's the open number 9. He gets to the box. When he gets to the box, he's got to score goals.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
If we keep him fit, for the full season, he scored at least 15, 16 goals.
Yeah, absolutely. LA Coffee says Miggy, Trippier, Bruno have really been working on their link-up play and training. And he says, I would give Wilson a 10. I like Coffee. Right, so we're going into this. Yeah, so we're going into the substitutes now. I'll take Jacob Murphy. And
he's getting him.
Hang on, at least we'll get a say here because we use 6 subs.
Oh, Jacob Murphy, he done all right when he came on. He had that shot which hit the post. I mean, he was very unlucky because that could have gone in. I thought he was all right when he came on.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give him a standard 7 out of 10 for his 19 minutes he was on the pitch. So yeah, I'll say a 7 for Murphy. Pete, I'm going to give you the next substitute that came on in the 71st minute as well, Matt Target for Sven Botman.
Probably go with a 7 as well. I mean, did he really have much to do when he come on? Not really.
Not an awful lot, did he?
No.
Where's boy for left back now with Jamal Lewis?
Yeah.
Right, and because he had 8 minutes on the pitch plus injury time, so about 11 minutes in total, I'll give Sam the honour of Jamal Lascelles.
I'm literally just got to give him a 6 because he didn't do anything. He didn't have to do anything when he came on.
Yeah. And
he had nothing to do. So.
Yeah. And then obviously we had St. Maximin, Shelby, and
Shelby came on with Lascelles.
Yeah, so you can have John Joe Shelby then.
5. You didn't have to do much either in the middle of the field either.
And I'm going to give the other 2 subs a standard 5 as well.
Yeah.
So Ryan, I'm going to come to you with the manager. Eddie Howe for yesterday.
God. It's hard to really say because
10.
Yeah. But I just feel like
Tony was doing that to me when I said 9.
Listen, he probably didn't have to do much game plan or like he had the game plan. He probably didn't have to do much adjusting because we just won the game comfortably. It was an easy opponent that gave us no challenge at all.
Yep.
So with that, you don't really have to like go into the subs and if they're going to make an impact or not. None of them really did because that's just the way the game went. Like they came on later on, etc. X, Y, Z. But yeah, 10, I guess.
Yeah, and
standard
that's a
day.
fair result. Yeah, standard day for Eddie Howe.
And he gets to choose the referee's rating because he was shit.
And Gordon, I give you the fans.
If I give him 100 out of 100, I would. The fans are the best in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Paul Tierney. Well, I didn't realise it was Paul Tierney. I had to look twice because he's had his head shaved, hasn't he? So.
Someone tell you know, like Iniesta.
I didn't recognize him at first.
Yeah,
I'll give him a 3.
He's obviously went down for a cheap £5 haircut. The barber's just shaved a lot off. Must have been a haircut and a paint for a £5 or something like that. But yeah, I didn't think Paul Tierney had a bad game yesterday. I thought he refed it okay. I mean, maybe the concussion thing could have been sorted out, but then that was down to Villa, not the referee.
Hang on, can I just put in sorry again? He did actually. Sorry for putting in. He actually spoke to the medical staff for Villa, saying if he's okay to play, and Villa said yeah.
Yeah.
If that's stupid, surely if he's been held for a concussion, surely just take them off. That's it. I think that should be it.
Villa are stupid anyway. Fuck them on.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I didn't think he done too bad. I mean, he got the penalty decision right as well. I mean, in the right place at the right time. I'm going to give. I'll give Paul Tierney. I think I'll give him a 7. that's being generous, I think. But
Yeah.
I don't think he done too bad. He let the game flow, didn't he, as much as he could. So
That's
yeah,
what that's what about. Let the game flow.
yeah, absolutely.
Because most referees, if there's a little touch, they go down, free kick again. Free kick's like stop, start. But like the first half was stop, start.
That's what the next fella.
And you have 10 minutes added on as well. You go for, oh my god.
I think Coffee says we're the team that's had the most goals denied by a goalpost. Yeah.
Wow.
Lionel Murphy gets an 8. Says I like coffee.
Lionel Murphy.
He says target is 7, Lascelles is 6, ESM and Shelby is 6, and Mud 5.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Chris Banks says anyhow, manager of the month, 10 out of 10.
He's got to get manager of the month, surely.
King Edward of Newcastle gets an 8. The fans get a 10 out of 10 from My Lake Coffee. He says the ref gets a 4.
I agree with that. 10 out of 10 for the
And
fans.
he says, was Ashley Young thinking contesting a handball decision at half time, got a yellow card for it? Well, that's just stupidity, isn't it?
He actually didn't get a yellow card. It was somebody complaining about.
It was Watkins who got the yellow card for Villa.
Yeah.
And there was only 2 yellow cards in the whole game, you know.
Yeah, so it wasn't really a dirty game, was it, as such? But just happened to be Joe Linton got a yellow card, which rules him out next week.
Oh,
yes.
I'd rather have him out and then have him as an option for Chelsea.
Oh yeah, Chelsea's the following week, isn't it?
Hang on, because we play a week today against Southampton away, and then on the Wednesday we're at home to Palace in the EFL Cup. And then on the Saturday, we play again in the Premier League.
I think we'll beat Chelsea.
So next Sunday at 2 p.m. kickoff live on Sky Sports, we've got Southampton away. That nice long trip down to Southampton.
And there's no trains on.
Yeah. So I'm going to go. So it's like I say, it's a Sunday afternoon. Trip down to Southampton, St Mary's. The record's a bit mixed down there. The way we are, we're playing well with confidence. And, you know, I know Palace struggled with them yesterday. I can't see us struggling against their defence, to be honest with you. My early prediction for next weekend, I'm going to say I'll take a 3-0 win down at St Mary's. Pete, what's your thoughts on next Sunday's game?
Yeah, I believe we can get another 3 points down there. I know we haven't had good records down at St. Mary's, but look at the way we're playing now. I mean, if we can get 3 points at Spurs, why can't we get them at St. Mary's? So there you are. So I'm going to say a 3-1 win in Newcastle and we take on Southampton.
Yeah, excellent, Pete. Yeah, well said, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Sam, what about you?
I think it'll be a comfortable 2-0 win.
Yeah, nothing to fear, is there, Sam? And Lewis, what's your prediction for next weekend?
Why not go for another 4-0? Why not? It's going to be 3-4-0. 3-4-0. Why not?
4-0.
Why not?
Well, it's nice to be optimistic, isn't it? You know, you've got to be positive.
It's unusual to be optimistic because we've been obviously with the 14 years of shit we had with Ashley. At least we can actually be happy in that for once.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, what's your prediction for next weekend against Southampton?
2-0, I think. To be honest, I think we'll have control of the game, but we might not have much chances, but we take them.
Yeah, I'll
probably go with Wilson, and I want to say ASM to come off the bench and finish it.
Ryan, it's going to be an early start for you on Sunday to watch the game, then, isn't it?
Well, the earliest games are 7:30 for me for the lunchtime kickoffs.
It's a 2 p.m. kickoff anyway.
Just imagine living in like LA or something where they gotta wake. It's like 4 a.m. So I'm chilling.
Yes.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? It's just.
That's dedication. Get up early and watch Newcastle.
Well, you know what? I think for about a week or two, like your clocks go back, or they
Yeah,
have?
they went back.
Yeah,
They went
they got
back.
back,
this
yeah.
morning.
I gotta wait a week or two for that. So you guys are technically 4 hours ahead of me instead of 5 right now.
And we're only 2 hours ahead of Newfoundland.
Newfoundland, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah.
Yeah. Gordon, prediction for next weekend?
I'm gonna go comfortable 3-0 win. I think Wilson, Bruno, and Amaron again.
Yeah, I think Almiron's going to pop in a lot. I bet Almiron's in a lot of people's fantasy teams now, isn't he? So he's
Probably
going to
could well be.
I just realised something. You know, when we play Southampton, we can't wear this one. We can't wear our Saudi Arabian kit.
Still be
Where
the
the
blue
blue
one.
We wear the blue one because Southampton
Yeah,
play mostly in white with one massive red stripe down the middle of the shirt.
yeah. It's awful, isn't it?
It looks like they're away kit from that season.
It's an awful kit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Carl's in the house. Hi, Carl. Hope you're well. He says E-I-E-I-E-I-O. I like coffee. Says, how much does it cost to travel to Southampton from Newcastle by road? A lot of money, mate.
Yeah,
A lot of money, I
it's
think.
going to be close to 500, 600 pounds now with the fuel.
And Fuse
Unless
got
you've
out.
a coach trip. Mighty Max says, well, crazy prediction. Pope off injured next game and Carrius comes on, has a blinder. No, don't be saying stuff like that.
And
No.
I don't
We don't want Pope injured.
I said this, like, it could be cheaper for Newcastle fans to fly from Newcastle to France, fly from France to Southampton. It'd be cheaper to do that.
Probably.
Oh, God.
But too much hassle. Gary says Southampton used to be a bogey team when they played at the Dell. Yes, they did. Oh, it was always Matt Letizia always had that bomb stoner against us. Didn't he? He used to always come up with a 25-yard special from outside the box, you know. And
I got
in the
the
top
goal.
corner.
I remember that goal with the flicked over the defender's head, placed in the bottom corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, before we wrap up, if you like what you see, then hit those like buttons. It really helps push the channel up the search settings. If you haven't yet subscribed, then please do so by clicking that subscribe button. It's free to do so. And if you want to be notified of when any videos become live or uploaded, then please hit the bell notification as well. So I'll start with I Like Coffee says Newcastle to win 5-0 again. That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
We just win 10-0 to get the biggest score in the Premier League for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start with Pete. Sorry, I'll start with Pete first. So Pete, where can everybody find you on your socials, mate?
It's all Payday Products. My YouTube channel, my Facebook page, my Twitter, Instagram. So feel free to subscribe, and I'll be live at 8 o'clock tonight for the match review and player ratings as well. And feel free to tune in and watch.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Pete.
Tony,
and Sam,
where
can we find you?
Facebook Sam Chipperfield and Instagram Chipperfield Sam. That's it now. No Twitter, no else. That's it.
No more nonsense.
Yeah. Sorry, Gordon. What were we going to say?
I haven't got any sources at the moment, Toby.
All right, that's no worries, mate. No problem. Ryan, where can we find you, mate?
You can just find me on Twitter on just on my name below my profile header. Give me a follow. I'll follow you back.
Cheers, Ryan. Thank you very much. And Lewis, where can we find you?
Well, like I'm on Twitter, but I don't use Twitter very often. I only use it to chat to you if you need me to come on, blah 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 blah. But I'm going next season. I'm going to start properly. I already have my channel set up for next season because obviously I was going to do the games, but obviously I told you what I was doing for next season. I'm going to start doing it properly, like with Newcastle disabled fans. But I have the channel. Yeah. I have the channel all set up. It's one video on because I did when I first started and that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it properly next season when I have more time.
I've already subscribed your channel, Tony.
I mean, lovely. Thank you, Gordon. I mean,
I'll have as well, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, the likes of us and, and John would probably give you a hand as well. And probably Pete would as well with your channel, with it, for the disabled fans.
Absolutely, yeah.
because as I say on everything, because for these Halo fans, we don't really get seen very often because sometimes we like there's quite a lot of these Halo fans who go to the games, but we don't really get our voices heard because sometimes the accessibility is not the best around. Obviously, it's getting better at the ground, but we probably need to add. I know it's a bit awkward. We probably need to add more disabled seats in the ground to get more disabled fans in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that may come with expansion as well.
Yeah.
I Like Coffee says, or maybe 7-0 next week, going to be a training exercise. That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
I'll be watching the game next Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be watching it.
Chris says, great show, Tony. Well done, everyone. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much. And I Like Coffee says, hi, Tony, PD, Sam, Gordon, Ryan, Lewis, and all. Ryan's had to run. And I Like Coffee says, don't forget to like and subscribe. Absolutely.
I've already done it.
Yep, I liked it as well already. I was waiting.
But yeah, we've got another, but like I say, another great weekend, you know, and we just at the moment, we just don't have any, like, we're just full of optimism, everything, you know, we're going every game. Oh, that should hopefully be 3 points, you know, we don't, you know, we could see another 16 points and we're safe, but we don't look like that now, do we? We don't look down now, we look up. We don't care what's happening below, so they can get on with that.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're looking for at least top 6, top 7.
I mean, even if we ended up finishing 7th, I wouldn't be disappointed because that's still successful.
Yeah, because if you finish 7th, that's the Europa Conference League.
I'll be happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that would be.
I'm just enjoying where we are at the moment. 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
End the season now. End the season now.
We've got our club back. We've got our city back. So
yeah.
I mean, can you imagine had we beat Bournemouth and got up and won against Palace, and then even say if we'd won against Wolves as well, by the time Arsenal played today, we would have been sitting top of the league.
Yeah,
we were top. And the Liverpool game as well. We should have beat Liverpool.
You should have got a point against
Liverpool. We should have. But it's all ifs and buts, but that's a good thing about football. Mm-hmm. But all I can say is we're still there, 1 defeat all season, and let's see how long it continues. Let it keep continuing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, so that's it, guys. Going to wrap up. Yeah, I'll have a word with us backstage before we go. But on that note, I bid everybody goodbye, and we'll see you later. And don't forget to tune in to Pete's show tonight for the match review and player ratings at 8 o'clock. Is that right, Pete?
It is, yeah.
8:50, yeah. And John's also 8:15, yeah. And John Sinclair TV, he's also doing a show at 6 o'clock as well, match reaction. And so we'll see you later on. Yeah. So for now, have a good evening and enjoy. Bye bye.
Away the mags.
Away the mags.
Come on, Mags.